The history of the New York Yankees. 1. Origins, 1901 to 1912. The beginning. Long before the bright lights of Yankee Stadium, before the pinstripes became a global symbol, the franchise began in much humbler surroundings. In 1901, the team entered the American League as the Baltimore Orioles, a club drifting financially and competitively. 2 years later, new ownership uprooted the team and brought it to New York, renaming them the Highlanders. They played on a hilltop in Washington Heights, battling mud, wind, and the city's growing appetite for baseball. The Highlanders weren't champions. They weren't even close. But they were planting roots in a city that demanded greatness. In 1913, as the team struggled to find its identity, they changed their name once again, this time choosing a word that would soon dominate sports: the New York Yankees. 2. The Ruth Era, 1919 to 1935, birth of a dynasty. The Yankees' story burst into legend in 1919 with a single, earth-shaking transaction: the purchase of Babe Ruth. Ruth didn't just hit home runs. He demolished the boundaries of what the sport thought possible. Fans poured into the newly built Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built, just to witness the spectacle. His swing transformed the Yankees from a forgettable franchise into baseball's first true empire. Surrounded by a lineup known as Murderers Row, Ruth led the team to 4 World Series championships and turned New York into the epicenter of America's pastime. This wasn't just a new era. This was the birth of a dynasty, and the moment the Yankees became the standard by which all teams would be measured. 3. DiMaggio and World War II era, 1936 to 1951. The Clipper rises. When Babe Ruth's final chapters were written, a new hero stepped onto the stage: Joe DiMaggio. With unmatched elegance, DiMaggio patrolled center field as the symbol of baseball's new generation. His 56-game hitting streak in 1941 became one of the greatest records in sports, a feat untouched to this day. Through the turmoil of the Great Depression and the global uncertainty of World War II, DiMaggio and the Yankees provided a sense of continuity, of hope, of American identity. As soldiers went overseas and families hung on to the radio for news, the Yankees kept winning 9 championships in this era alone. They were more than a ball club. They were a cultural touchstone at a time when the nation needed one most. 4. The Mantle Era, 1951 to 1964. Post-war dominance. After DiMaggio's last farewell, a young switch-hitting phenom from Oklahoma took the torch. Mickey Mantle, with his lightning speed and explosive power, became the face of the post-war Yankees. Alongside teammates like Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, and Roger Maris, Mantle led one of the most dominant runs in sports history: 15 pennants in 18 seasons. The 1961 home run chase between Mantle and Maris captivated America, culminating in Maris breaking the long-standing single-season record with 61. This era defined an almost unfair standard of excellence. With every October, the nation expected the Yankees to be there, and most years, they were. It was an empire built on raw talent, fearless play, and a mystique no other team could match. 5. Decline and turmoil, 1965 to 1975. The fall. But even the greatest dynasties crack under the weight of time. By the mid-1960s, injuries, retirements, and aging stars pulled the Yankees back to earth. The once invincible franchise fell into mediocrity, and Yankee Stadium, once a cathedral of success, grew quieter. Attendance dropped. Wins slipped away. For the first time in decades, the Yankees looked human. Yet within that fall, a rebirth was beginning. In 1973, a brash, demanding shipbuilder from Cleveland bought the team. His name was George Steinbrenner, and he had no intention of staying quiet or staying average. 6. The Steinbrenner Era and Bronx Zoo, 1976-1981. The 1970s Yankees were unlike anything baseball had ever seen. Steinbrenner spent money, demanded results, and fired managers faster than reporters could print the headlines. The clubhouse filled with strong personalities like Thurman Munson, Billy Martin, and Reggie Jackson became known as the Bronx Zoo. Fights, feuds, and fiery quotes filled the newspapers. But behind all the chaos was winning. Pure, unapologetic winning. The Yankees captured back-to-back championships in 1977 and 1978, with Reggie Jackson's 3-home run Game 6 cementing his place in October lore. For better or worse, the Yankees were once again the center of the baseball universe, loud, passionate, and undeniably great. The down years and rebuild, 1982 to 1995. Darkness before dawn. After the fireworks of the 70s faded, the Yankees slid into another long drought. Steinbrenner's constant moves couldn't recreate the magic, and postseason dreams drifted farther away. But deep in the minors, far from the spotlight, a new group of players was developing. Young prospects Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, and Bernie Williams began to rise. They didn't grab headlines at first. They weren't the free agent splash Steinbrenner once favored, but they would become the foundation of the next great Yankee dynasty. In the shadows of the old, the future was quietly being built. The Joe Torre dynasty, 1996 to 2009, a modern golden age. In 1996, everything came together. Under the calm leadership of Joe Torre, the Yankees returned to baseball supremacy. The core four, Jeter, Rivera, Posada, and Pettit, anchored a team defined not by flash or controversy, but by consistency and clutch performance. Championships poured in, 1996, then 3 straight from 1998 to 2000, capped by one of the greatest teams ever assembled in '98. Mariano Rivera became the greatest closer in baseball history, a postseason assassin. Derek Jeter became the captain, the heartbeat of the franchise. And in 2009, the Yankees claimed their 27th championship, the final jewel in the dynasty's crown. It was a renaissance built on discipline, unity, and an unshakable belief in Yankee tradition. 9. Post-dynasty transition, 2010 to 2016, searching for identity. As the legends retired one by one, the Yankees entered a period of transition. They remained competitive, rarely suffering losing seasons, but the magic of October began to slip through their fingers. The franchise faced a crossroads: continue spending on aging stars or rebuild with youth and analytics. Slowly, the philosophy shifted. The Yankees invested in development, retooled their roster, and prepared for the next chapter. It was a quiet era not marked by championships, but by reinvention. 10. The Baby Bombers and Modern Era, 2017-present. The next wave arrived with thunder. The Baby Bombers, led by Aaron Judge, brought back the power and excitement that defined Yankees baseball. Judge's towering home runs turned him into a phenomenon, culminating in a historic 62-homer season in 2022, with a roster blending homegrown talent, analytics-driven strategy, and big-market firepower. The Yankees chased their long-awaited 28th World Series title. The dynasty isn't yet reborn, but the foundation is set, and the fire that built the greatest franchise in sports still burns in the Bronx.